For joining us tonight for your 5 News at 6, I'm Erica Thomas.
And I'm Darren Bobb. Tomorrow marks 20 years, of course, since September 11th. And University of Arkansas Fort Smith taking time to honor the victims with a week of remembrance.
Today, the university hosted a public memorial where people got a chance to share their personal stories from that day. 5 News reporter Catherine Gilker was there and has more from the tribute.
Here on the University of Arkansas Fort Smith campus, almost 3,000 flags were placed on the greens this week by students and staff to honor the lives lost 20 years ago on September 11th, 2001. Fort Smith City Administrator Carl E. Gefkin worked for the City of New York back in 2011, and his office was downtown less than 3 blocks from the World Trade Center. He recounts that horrific day.
I turned the corner to walk towards my building, and I saw the tail of the first plane go in, and that started a horrific day.
When he got to his office, he says everyone was nervous, not knowing the extent of the tragedy. And then 17 minutes later, the second plane hit the South Tower.
A beautiful, clear day became absolutely pitch black. We then told our employees to wait for the dust to settle and then to immediately go down to South Street.
Gefkin says once he went outside, it looked like a war zone.
When the North Tower fell, our building violently shook, and we were on the 25th floor. At that point in time, any possibility of danger for me was put out of my mind, because I had about 300 people who I was responsible for.
University of Arkansas Fort Smith Chancellor Dr. Teresa Riley says hearing stories like Gefkin's are an important part of learning about the significance of that day.
We know some of our students weren't alive or don't remember because they were so young at the time of 9/11, and we want to make sure people don't forget. It's an important thing to remember the goals of hope out of sacrifice.
Gefkin says not a day goes by that he doesn't think about that day, and tomorrow he will be speaking with his former co-workers who were with him on that day, like he does every year on the anniversary of the attacks. In Fort Smith, covering news where you live, Catherine Gilker, 5 News.
All right, Catherine, thanks. The UFAS memorial ceremony concluded with a tolling of a bell by the Fort Smith Fire Department to remind people of the lives lost. Following that service at the flagpoles, first responders headed to the Stubblefield Center for a memorial stair climb to honor the steps first responders took as they climbed the Twin Towers that day.
It feels great, to always let them know that they're never forgotten, and that we can remember them in some type of way, and doing this is the best way that I know to pay tribute.
A lot of people that lost their lives on September 11th were selfless service, and that's one of the steeples of what we do in the United States military. To understand that they were scared and fearful, but they let that selfless service continue to go rescue and save lives, that means something.
This is the first year the ROTC program has hosted the stair climb, but they say they hope to make it a tradition on September 11th for many years to come.